Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us for our Business Resiliency series. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Ariana.
And we are joined here by Aikita. How are you doing, Aikita?
I'm doing pretty well.
So to get us started, could you provide us with an overview of your business, who you are, and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Aikita. I am the Master Concoctionist and CEO of Swash Body. We do body care and postpartum pregnancy care. Everything is plant-based, organic-ish, natural. My goal is to market these products to people who don't normally get marketed to. So it's not that my products are inherently different. They're better because I make them and because I make sure that they feel good and they're good for you. But mainly who I serve are the underserved. And what I mean by that is people who don't fit traditional masculine, feminine, gender roles. And it's not like I'm going after those people like I'm all about the gays or I'm all about the non-binary. It's I want to tap into a market or to people, my people, who don't get normally marketed to.
I love that. That's beautiful. So tell us a little bit about Swash, the name, the brand. What does it mean?
Well, before it was Joy Journeys In, JJE Organics. Sounds very nice and cute. And then I went through SpaceWorks Tacoma, the SpaceWorks program, and really figure out who I am. And I was warring with my brand. It was this very all natural, very suburban, almost Stepford wife-ish with some granola in there kind of brand. And that's not who I am. I'm very badass. I'm very in your face when I talk, because I'm a little quiet, but when I do. And so that's what I wanted this to be. So Swash comes from swashbuckler. A swashbuckler is someone who is debonair, but who is has a devil-may-care kind of attitude. They are not a cad. You know what? Captain Jack Sparrow. Swashbuckler. My tagline is feel-good products for badass people. That's basically what this is. It's a feel-good products to wash and cleanse and moisturize and exfoliate for people who are seen as badass.
I feel like it's empowering too, right? Like if you're like, that's me, I am badass.
And it took me a while to get to call myself that, you know?
That tied in super well though, right? Like you talked about being Joy's Journeys End or JJE Organics before and now Swash. So you were going through a rebranding during a pandemic. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that and what that process has been like for you?
I had to continue with this rebrand. I could not hold off because I can't be JJE anymore. So I was already kind of going through the process of it and the pandemic hit. And so I was like, I'm just basically going to pivot like everybody else is and just do things that I can do during now. So instead of doing so much more of the marketing, like the models and all that stuff, I'm now working on more print things and honestly really hunkering down and I think doing more of the minutia of figuring out who the rebrand is, not so much of the fun things of the money things and the legal things and, you know, the setting up processes and procedures thing. Still working.
It's exciting. I feel like you have such a good attitude through it too, right? Like I think, you know, as business owners, like you know when your business needs to make a pivot or make a shift, regard pandemic or no, right? Like you feel that internally as a business owner. And I think you've just maintained such a phenomenal attitude through this whole thing, to stay positive, to stay on point, to still dig in and do the hard work.
So I think that is a really good example of resilience in action. And we're curious to know, how do you define resiliency?
I define resiliency as you don't have a choice but to keep going. Resiliency, I feel like, is something that's kind of in you. I think anybody can be resilient, but to have continuous resiliency is to be self-motivating and to know your worth, to know where you're going, to know you want to get there, and then to have the drive. Like it's almost like something like you can't, like I'll make an example. I woke up at 1:53 this morning and have not been to sleep. I had a million ideas on how to do a million things that I couldn't do because we can't touch, but and I think that's resiliency. Like there's a motor inside of you that you can't stop. And maybe it's fueled one day by your passion. Maybe one day it's fueled by money. Maybe one day it's fueled by different things, but it's continuously fueled by something in you.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yes, it is.
You are someone that we think of as like a very resilient person. So how do you stay resilient?
Oh, child, it's hard. It is hard. If I can boil it down to something kind of trite, I am afraid of being mediocre. I'm afraid of being on my deathbed and I have a list of things that I can't do. And I'm alive knowing I can't do those things, but can't get to them. Like, I want to be different and make things different and always create. So it's like, it's just like, I just can't not do it. So if that kind of answers it.
It does. But I was just kind of curious because I think life throws crazy challenges at people. And I think even the most resilient people, I just loved how you frame it, right? That anyone can be resilient, but to maintain that state of resiliency, like that's work. There's a process. There's some resources there to make that happen. So thank you.
We are asking all the folks that we interview to share their top 2 tips for a resilient business. So what would be your top 2?
To be resilient, you have to be flexible and be able to pivot and change. Sometimes at a week's notice, month's notice, even a day's notice. And you have to give yourself, that room to change. I think sometimes we get so caught up in this is the plan and this is how it goes and it can't change. So to be resilient, you have to be like, okay, plans change, let's flip it. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is, man, you need money. You need money to be resilient. You don't have to have it, but if you can get it, find different ways of making income. So during this rebrand, I'm doing an online project management course. Something that I've learned, what do you know that you can teach or sell that someone else wants? So like if you're a business owner and you sell soaps, you know how to make soap. So teach someone online how to make soap. What do you have already in your kind of repertoire of things, your skills, and monetize it.
I love that. And I love that that thought process too, because I think we've seen a lot of people do it really well through COVID-19, right? I have was looking on social media and someone who recently became an esthetician. Well, they can't do anything now, so now they're doing at-home stuff. So you purchase the product and then they walk you through it online. Even like when we're off, house arrest here and we get to go back into the rest of the world, I might kind of like that service because it works with my busy schedule, right? It's been neat to see those examples of exactly what you're talking about.
Aikita, is there anything else you would like to add?
Wisdom, things that are coming up.
Yes, Swash is coming up. It's swashbody.com. That's what it'll be. Go there now. Sign up for the updates. Look at my pretty pictures. Read the copy. I'm going to give a date now, so I have to step up to it. I'm hoping to soft launch from your ideas something this summer. So that means in June, July, or August, one of those months, I'm hoping June, but I will be soft launching something or hard launching. Something's got to come up this summer. And then other than that, I'll just say, keep going. I know it's hard. I know it sucks. It's okay to say it sucks. It's okay to be upset. Just keep on going.
I love that. And it's something too that's been really interesting because you talked about like resiliency and being able to like, change and pivot and that ability to keep going. And I think something that you've done incredibly well is through this rebranding, like that core of who you are and who you serve and what you do has remained the same. And I think that's a real example of resilience. And I think it's really awesome.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, we will wrap up the interview. So thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.